Hey guys, so as you can see, this is a sad sight. I brought my GW slow stick to the field today, and I set up my camera and my stupid camera would not record. And it's okay because the flight only lasted 10 seconds anyways. I'll explain here. I was using this camera card. Now this camera card actually broke in two right before this flight. You see this? Now I put it back together, just kind of pushed it together. And I tried to put it in the camera and it went in, but it said the camera card is locked. I couldn't record anything. So I actually was able to get everything off this that I had on there previously, but it wouldn't record to it anymore, so I couldn't get my flight. But this is what happened. The motor was too strong for the airframe. I took off and the flight lasted about 15 seconds. The first 7 seconds I took off and I raised into the air at about a 45-degree angle. I was just gaining altitude, and while I was doing so, after about somewhere between 8 and 10 seconds, the wing snapped in two. And then between 10 and 15 seconds, my plane darted to the ground, and the other half of the wing flopped to the ground, and actually it got stuck in a tree and I wasn't able to retrieve it. So I lost half my wing. That's okay. The plane kit's only about 30 bucks, so I could get a new wing really easy. But I'm going to actually be doing something else to this plane. But here, I'll just show you what happened. Ailerons. One aileron works, one aileron is still connected, but as you can see, this servo used to be connected to the other side. Luckily, the servo didn't fall out with the wing. The servo stayed attached to the plane, so I got my servo back. And it looks like it's working just fine. Now my elevator and rudder, they ripped off the foam, but everything else still works, so they should be easy to reattach. And my other one. So they disattach from the foam, but they should be easy to reattach. And then another big problem is my motor got really bent. Now I might be able to bend it back a little bit, or I might have another motor shaft, but check this out, it's really bent. That actually looks not too bad on camera, but it's really bent. That actually looks really nice on camera. I'm looking at it on camera, it's really bent. But honestly, I might try it again. It's it looks bent to me in person, but on camera, it's looking okay. But in person, it is really wobbling. So I might bend it back a little bit with a pliers, but actually the motor might be okay. So my plan is reattach the elevator and rudder. Like I said, it's just a quick repair there, no big deal. Just have to reattach those control arms. And then all I have to do is get a new wing, and actually I think I'm going to use my Park Zone Radian wing. I also have a Dynam Super Cub aileron wing, so I'm going to use one of those two wings. Because when I bought my Radian, I bought a spare wing, and I bought a Dynam Super Cub once. It wouldn't fly at all, so I stripped all the electronics. But I do have the wing from it with no electronics in it, so I might use the Dynam wing on this, the Super Cub wing. We'll just see what happens, but basically I just need to just check on that shaft of the motor a little bit. It looked fairly straight on the camera, but it's not going to fly perfect. I might try to straighten that out, and then I need a new wing. So luckily, really not that much damage was done. You know, 15 bucks for a new wing, and that's about it. And I have a wing already sitting in my garage that was being used for nothing, so it's kind of lucky. Now I do lose this awesome paint job, which I'm sad about. Half of it's gone. Maybe I'll have her paint on the new one after I know it flies good. But I'm sure that if I use the Radian wing, everything will be fine, because the Radian wing is nice, strong Z-foam, and I've flown the Radian and it flies faster than this did, and it had no problem. So this foam is just cheap. Just ripped apart real easy. It wasn't good. Maybe the rubber band broke. I'm really not sure what caused the wing to break. I don't know if the wing just broke because it broke, or I took off one rubber band actually, so I think the rubber bands were still on when it came down. But yeah, it just snapped. Only other damage that happened, which isn't really damage, is my ESC stayed in place. My receiver though, it used to be glued on to the frame. It just popped off. But it's fine, no damage to it. So my elevator and rudder servo is still intact. One aileron servo is intact, but I gotta rip it out anyways to put it in a new wing. So only problem is gonna be I centered out my plane with CG and I put a drop of foam safe CA on the wing mounts. So if I can't get these to move, they might not hold on the radian wing very good, because the radian wing's a lot skinnier. But I'll see what I can do, and I'll give you guys updates as we do it. If I can't get those mounts to move, I might buy another GWS wing, and I might try to reinforce it with some more carbon rods and other things so it doesn't break next time. But get some updates in the future and see what happens, so stay tuned.